Hello and welcome back to the Rocknrollsailor Journal, episode 106 already, and today we're visiting a multidisciplinary atelier, exhibition space, shop, which is just like full of beauty, full of art. And here in the back we have the responsible for that. Hi Jolanta, how are you today?
Good, I'm just preparing the sculpture for the person. They commissioned the piece with the pearl inside because they wanted this symbolize the shell with the pearls. Just packing and yeah. But
it's a beautiful piece.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely beautiful
this
piece.
This is actually ceramic, and the person was posing for the sculpture, and then in the back I wanted this to look like a seashell, and then it's like a connection with the sea. And this woman actually, this is her story. She was connected with the sea. She is a diver. So yeah.
Well, it's absolutely gorgeous.
This is my back mess where I create the pieces and learning Dutch in the same time and creating jewelry. So let's go to the front. It's this is the showroom in front.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Personally, I really applaud you for having your atelier in your shop. Like, it's. On the one hand, it's hard. On the other hand, it is, it's very inspiring for customers to see how you're doing everything. It also shows 100% guaranteed it's all your stuff, that it's all handmade, so on and so forth. It is quite interesting.
And sometimes I make a mess with the clay like this one, but I can put it to the side.
Oh, it's okay. It's cool.
Yeah.
So you do them in ceramics?
I carve it in clay. This is just half-hour work, so this is still not any close to be finished. But so I do it with photos, but I really love to work with live model. So,
of course.
But this one I just have to cover because I will be working with it more. And
so you have to keep it damp for the clay.
Exactly.
Is this also ceramics?
This is actually resin.
This is a resin, I thought so.
Yeah, this piece was, you know what, maybe I put the video from the opera on the screen. So it's in the background.
Opera, yes.
Because I did this project for the opera, which was set design, costumes, projections. So this
the whole thing. You did the set design, the costumes, and the projections.
And I was building it too, not only designing.
Wow.
So.
And how many costumes are we talking about?
I actually did all the sample pieces, and they because was like 30 people on the stage. I did about maybe 12 different samples in which they have to later. But I was also dyeing by hand the fabric and.
So you made the example costumes. Let's put it that way. The prototypes,
and they reproduce it. But I was still hand dyeing the fabrics because I want to have them to have a certain look. And in the end, the piece also final piece for the singer. She actually was also with hand painted fabrics. This is how I make the jewelry. So this is carving in wax. I have this piece on the YouTube channel. So if you put Jolanta Pavlak wax carving, then you're showing up your Jolanta Isabella. But then I also wanted to show you this is. So this is the actual work in progress on the opera, and this piece is also available on YouTube. But yeah, you can.
I'll see if there's not too much glare to have it.
Yeah.
Properly. Yeah.
This was actually 14 meters, and I carved entire piece in clay. And also in the background there were my photography, which I did 17 photo shoots with people. This was actually part where like growing up about the people who are part of the opera. But I have pretty intense photo sessions which talk about the slavery. So it's definitely not easy to get your models in this kind of dark space talking about so they're pretty strong images, and also planning to show these photos in Poland in this big church, which now is cultural center in Gdańsk. So hopefully this will go through.
Because we met about a month ago, and then you went off to Poland to do an exposition.
Exactly.
Was this also a photo exposition?
There was painted fabrics, which I did installation, huge installation, a few meters big, with hand-painted fabrics form on the wall like a big sculpture, like a soft sculpture. And then I also had few pieces of my metal sculptures to show the connection between my fabrics, painting, and metal work. That is all like inspired with the coral, and also like of course the inspiration is there, but I go to my own imagination to create these forms.
Yes, of course. No, but I was looking at your rings. I really enjoy the way it's based on natural forms, like the coral behind us is beautiful, but at the same time it's a bit of a warped face.
And I love when people can see
really,
their own things in it, and sometimes people write me email after a while when they bought the sculpture. Oh, now I know what I see in the after discovering it, looking at it on a different angle.
No, I enjoy that as well, and I really appreciate it when artists leave their audience enough space for personal interpretation and imagination. To me, it's kind of a respect almost.
Yes.
You know, that it's not like you're forcing your idea on the audience by this is what I've made and no interpretation possible. No. It's basically using art to stimulate other people's imagination and basically artistic view on life also.
Yes, and
I really appreciate that.
Thank you. I also work like an art educator. In States I was working for a few years in the non-profit, and I did art therapy with teenagers and adults who went through some trauma in life. So I definitely, I'm very sensitive about also talking about other people's work, and how they see my own so this is teaching you a lot, just working with people who are creative and
definitely. I love that just the interaction, the fact that in some ways everybody shapes their imagination in a different way. Everybody has a different perception of form and structure and the balance between content and shape.
And I think the most important is process of creation. We often so concentrate and stress ourselves about the results, but really you have to just enjoy the time you're spending with the material, and this is like meditation.
Yeah.
And often I was even telling my students, because they were putting some sorrow and some happiness in it, but sometimes they were like, oh, but this is not the result. But I was like, but how it make you feel when you were creating it? And in the end, you can even destroy it. It like doesn't have to please anybody, you know.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
that's like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
some people who come to my workshops, and I told them, leave your expectation behind the door, like really just enjoy the process, you know, and I can see when somebody let it loose a little bit more, you know, and then it's really magic happens.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but I find that very, very interesting as well. You know, it's basically like the moment you let go of a preconception of certain pieces or whatever, it becomes so much richer, and you actually sort of like discover the piece while you're making it, or in my case, I have that a lot with my writing also. It's sort of like up to the point where I'm actually reading what I'm writing at the instant. You know what I mean? It's more like you follow the flow rather than dictate it. And that has the amazing effect, I find also, that basically you discover yourself as an artist through creation rather than saying like, these are my limits, this is my boundaries, and I'm working within those and those parameters, you know.
Even like living on the island really teach me, because not always I have all the materials available. When I live in Caribbean, you have to ship everything, you wait for 2 months sometimes customs decide to keep it for a while, and then you have to really be resourceful with your material. You have to be able to switch to different materials, and I think also that's what, like, of course I study like sculpture, photography and set designing, but with painting of the fabric came later when I could not find the fabrics I love, and I was like, why I just start painting on it, and then like this was my other medium when I was waiting for my metal clay to arrive.
You picked up something else, and that grew into a work of its own.
Exactly.
Like, excellent. So let's recap. Basically, you're originally Polish. You've been living and working in the Caribbean, in the States, and now you have your shop here.
I have a shop here
on
Haarlemmerstraat.
Haarlemmerstraat.
100.
Okay. Haarlemmerstraat 100. Okay, excellent. In Amsterdam.
Yes.
Excellent. And you were saying before you still do workshops here as well?
Yeah, I do workshops upstairs, and I post time and days for the workshops on my website. You can also see photos of other people creating on the website. And yeah, like I do it usually in the evenings. Then I close the gallery and can concentrate on the sharing my knowledge about art. But I have people who travels through and just join for 3 hours, and I ship their work to them. Or I have people from the neighborhood coming, and this is nice because people keep coming back. I have the same people just continuing doing different projects. And
because you do workshops both with the masks, as with the jewelry, as with the fabric painting.
Yeah, I actually do the jewelry making in, so you're creating pieces in wax, and I cast it for you in silver. And the other workshop is in clay, and this is with different forms, making portraits of somebody, or your own portrait, or then people also creating the hand-built pottery, which they create the textures on it, and I show how to make textures in clay, and then I fire the pieces, and we painting it with glaze. So yeah, so this is.
So people actually come in total novice.
Yeah.
And
I had some advanced artists who wanted
and you bring them all the way up to like a fired, finished, well-baked, glazed piece. Yeah. Whether it's a mask or a piece of pottery or
exactly.
Wow.
And I have people who just never touch clay, and I have people who work with clay and they just want to try different techniques. Also, because I really like, I'm of course happy when somebody wants to work with textures, but happy also if somebody go very minimalistic. We talk about composition, different inspiration from different artists. So yeah, it's a little history of art, a little bit of creation, it's and good time. So yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Wow.
And it's right. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Nou, dat is niet goed.
Oh, kijk even dan op de foto. Je laat dus zien een picture van
Ah, from the photo. Oh yeah.
de backside. Ja, die zit er. Hij is niet te groot, hè?
No. If you have a smaller, then you. Gaat het om zo.
Ja, je moet kunnen bewegen. Hier is jouw tas.
If it's smaller, then you. I'd rather sculpt too now, live model, not from the photos, but sometimes the person is like when it's surprise or this is a surprise gift or cannot have a person sitting in front of me. Yeah.
Well, so I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. I mean, it's always stimulating to see people that, you know, just go for their passion. Like she says on the wall, you know, I create masterpieces. That's not ego tripping, that's knowing what you're worth, you know. I think that's excellent. And fun for me in there as well is that basically she agreed on becoming you know, apart from everything else she does, my personal costume designer. Oh yes.
Oh yes.
So, in a little while from now, I'm going to be a sharp-dressed man. Look out for that one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy. Be an inspiration. It doesn't hurt. Have fun.